Algebra 1 students, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing percents. So for the first three, we are going to find each percent. For number 1, what percent of 60 is 33? So what we do, I'm going to show you two ways to do this. The first way is a little longer and the second way is a little shorter, but the first way is how the book does it, so I want to make sure you guys know how to do that. So for number 1, we can take what percent of 60 is 33. So we take 33 over 60 is equal to x over 100. Because 100% is the total percent you can have. So what we do is cross multiply and get 33 times 100 is equal to 60 times x, and we get 3300 is equal to 60x, 60x, divide by 60, divide by 60, and if you put that in your calculator, you're going to get x is equal to 55, and they're asking percent, so it's 55%. So 33 is 55% of 60. I'm going to show you a different way to do it. The same way, we could just do 33 divided by 60 is equal to 0.55. To change that to a percent, we take this decimal and move it over two places. So then it would be 55%. Some people can't see that the decimal should be moved, so if you need to do it this long way, you're more than welcome, but if you want to do it this short way, it's totally fine. For number 2, we do the exact same thing. So I'm going to do it the long way. If you choose to do it, I want you to write it down the long way, but if you want to do your other problems the short way, you can. So we take 200 divided by 120 is equal to x over 100. Cross multiply, we get 200 times 100 is equal to 120x. So 200 times 100 is 20,000 is equal to 120x. Divide by 120. Divide by 120. X is equal to 166.66%. If you did it the short way, you would get 1.6666, and then you move the decimal over two spaces to get 166.66%. I want you guys to do number 3 on your own, and then we will come back and see if we get the same answer. Okay, I'm back. Look and see what I did. I showed you both ways so you can see how they both are done. So for the long way, we just did 26 over 42 is equal to x over 100. We cross multiplied, and then we got x is equal to 66.66 repeating percent. And then if you do it the long way, it's the same thing. 28 divided by 42 is equal to 0.6666. And then you move it over the decimal over two spaces, and you get 66.66%. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, number 4, find each part. To find each part, for number 4, what is 125% of 62? So we know if it's 125%, it's going to have to be bigger than 62. So all we have to do is we need to change 125% into decimal. So if the decimal is over here, we need to move it over this way two decimal places. So 125% is 1.25, and then we're going to times that by 62. And if you punch that into your calculator, you get it to be 77.5. So 77.5 is 125% of 62. Those ones are pretty easy, so we're going to move on to number 5. So what is 40% of 720? So we put the decimal move it over twice. So we see that 40%, you write that as 0.40 as a decimal, and then we times that by 720, and then we get, if you punch it into your calculator, we get 288. So 288 is 40% of 720. I want you guys to pause it like usual and do number 6 on your own, and we'll come back and see if we get the same answer. Okay, I'm back, and you can see what I did. All I did is I changed 50% into a decimal, which is 0.50, and I times it by 822, and I get 411. You can see, you can think about this another way. 50% is just 1/2, so 1/2 of 822 is 411. We're going to move on. Number 7 through 9, we find each base. So we're going to do the complete opposite of what we did in 4 through 6. So we're wanting to know what number, if 60% of what number is 75. So we know this number is going to have to be bigger than 75 because 75 is 60% of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 75 and we equal that to 0.60 times some number x. So we change 0.60% into a decimal. That's where the 60 is. And if you recall on 4 through 6, all we did to find this number is we times 0.60 times that number. So what we're going to have to do is just divide by 0.6. Divide by 0.6. So 75 divided by 0.6 is 125 is equal to x. So 75 is 60% of 125. We're going to do number 8. So we need to figure out what number 4.1 is 5% of what number. So we do 4.1 is equal to change 5 into a percent, we need to go over 2 decimal places, remember? And so now there's going to be an imaginary 0, so it's 0.05 times x. And then to get that by x by itself, we have to divide by 0.05, divide by 0.05, and x is equal to 82. So 4.1 is 5% of 82. Again, pause this, try to do number 9 on your own, and then we'll come back and see if we get the same answer. Okay, I'm back. You can look and see what I did. All I did is I changed 68% into a decimal to get 0.68. So it's 64.6 is equal to 0.68 times x divided by 0.68. And then you get x is equal to 95. So 64.6 is 68% of 95. We're going to move on. Okay, the last two, we're going to do some word problems. A set of golf clubs that are regularly $600. This word is supposed to be 4. Sorry, I forgot the F. So, a set of golf clubs that are regularly $600 for 40% off. What is the sale price of the clubs? So, if the golf clubs, that's supposed to be golf. I don't know why it says gold. A set of golf clubs that are regularly $600 are 40% off. So, we need to figure out what 40% off is 600. So, we're going to take 600 times, we change 40 into a decimal, is 0.4 is equal to, punch in your calculator, 240. And that is how much is taken off of 600 for 40%. So now we just have to take 600 minus 240 is equal to 360, and we know that means it's dollars. So the sale price is $360. We're going to move on to number 11. And if you guys have more questions on this, we can do it in class. And so bring all your stuff. So number 11, when Lily was born, her parents deposited $5,000 in a college savings account that earns a simple interest rate of 7.25% per year. How much interest will the money have earned after 18 years? This isn't as complicated as it sounds. So we need to figure out how much is 0.75%, 7.25% of 5,000. So we take 5,000 times by turning this into a decimal, move it over twice. So we have to add that imaginary zero. So it's 0.0725, it's an awful 2, I'm sorry, is equal to 362.5. So now we have to take, this is how much interest it'll get for 1 year. So now we have to take 362.5 times 18 to get it for how much this money will earn after 18 years. And we get $6,525. So after 18 years, this $5,000 will have made $6,525 at a rate of 7.25%. I hope that makes sense, and if it doesn't, well, we will go over it in class, and I hope you guys have a good night, and don't forget to study for your quiz tomorrow.